The poles are in, so now we have to do the balustrades and also build the entire deck. So we've given ourselves a pretty big to-do list today, but the first thing is to go down to the shed and get all of the wood. And you may have forgotten, but we definitely have not. This wood is all of the stuff that we reclaimed from our friend's house, and this was about 5 full weekends of work to actually get it to this point. So we had to sand it all, denail it, take the tongues off, clean it all up, and it's been sitting there waiting to be used. I'm so excited to finally actually use it because it has had a lot of love put into it. So packed it all into the ute to take it back up to the stone house, and we're ideally using all full lengths for the deck, so just put them all out to make sure we actually had enough. And then it was time to put the beams in place. And we did have some helping hands this weekend. Of course, included in that was Vaughn's dad. Thank God, because he bought the concrete mixing attachment for the tractor. And I thought we were going to have to do this all by hand in a wheelbarrow. So very happy that we did not have to do that. But we managed to put all the beams in place and they were all level, so we concreted them in, and they're all actually sitting on galvanized steel stirrups. So put that all in place, and then the next job was to actually cut channels in the front poles for the wood to sit in. And biggest reason for that is we just didn't want to rely only on bolts to hold it in place. So we cut all those out, and thanks to my very good measuring, all of them actually fit first go, which was a massive win. Unfortunately, the day's jobs were not finished yet. We also wanted to make sure the front poles were isolated from the beams in case any termites did make their way up. So we folded this sheet metal to just sit in that channel to make sure that the wood was not touching each other between that pole and that beam. Second last job for the day was to actually put these beams in place and fix them to the front poles and the stirrups. So we joined 2 bits of timber together just to give it a little bit more strength. Then we had to bolt all of those beams in place. And look, I like to think I'm strong, but this was actually a really, really hard job and it had been a big day. And then Vaughan brought out this really big drill to get the bolts through both the beams and the front poles. And so put those through. And the very last job on the list today was to paint the tops of the beams with bitumen paint just to make sure that water doesn't sit on top of those. So that took us into the night time, but hopefully that dries ready for us to put the joist on top tomorrow.